Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher, and today I'm going to be demonstrating a variation on the whipped woven circle. This is something that I played around with when I was working with 1-inch circles and just kind of using that as a design challenge to see what I could come up with in a 1-inch circle. I posted all of those videos under the creative process Going Rogue, and this stitch was something that I'd seen someone do something similar, and it gave me some ideas of how to do a variation on the whipped woven. So I'm going to demonstrate it in a couple of different threads so you can see what it looks like. I really love this stitch. It's a lot of fun. It looks like a little bit like a trellis stitch using a whipped woven technique. Don't forget to hit the like button, click on that subscribe button and little bell that pops up for email notifications. I love hearing from you. Leave me comments in the comment section. And grab something to stitch with, a needle and some thread, and let's explore this variation on the whipped woven circle. So this is my lavender fields. I think I'm going to do a number 24 chenille on this. I'm going to get out my spoke easy, and I'm going to do a variation on the whipped woven. This was something I thought of the other day. So I'm getting out my 10 spoke easy, my chalk pencil. I like to get my center. I've mentioned this before. I find that if I'm doing my spokes from the center and pushing outward with the chalk pencil, I have less breakage. Of course, now it's going to break. Than if I go from the outside and go to the center. I have no idea why that is, but I do have more success with the chalk not breaking. Okay, so there it is. I always start my spokes on the outside so that my knot does not end in the center. I'm going to go right out to the outer edge of this circle. Okay. Now I'm going to come up right between two of these spokes, pretty close to the center. I'm going to go back under the spoke that I've come up, the one right in back of where I've come up. And then typically you would go under that one and then the next one. I'm going to go under 3 and see what that looks like. So I'm going to go back under these 2 and come under the third. Come back under 2. Let's just see what that looks like. It's going to be a longer stitch across, so I don't want to pull that too tightly. As I go out, I have to be more aware of not pulling this. And it's giving it a kind of, it's pretty cool what's going on here. I like it. Sort of a cross between a woven and a whipped woven. How cool is that? This is like it's reminding me a little bit of a trellis. Okay, I'm going to do one more pass. I'll stop right here. So I'm just going to anchor my thread. I am using, this is Dala thread. This is 5-weight. It's exclusive to Sue Spargo. It's actually her daughter Kelly who hand dyes these, and I just love it. It's this one's called Flower Power. It's a really, really lovely thread, and I love the way it threads up. So I'm using this is actually a tapestry needle. It's a number 20. Typically, I would use a number 18 and then switch to a tapestry, but I'm just going to go ahead and go with the tapestry the whole way. I'm going from end to end. I'm doing, this is my 8 spoke, which I've already chalked out, and okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come right up into my center between 2 of my spokes. It doesn't really matter which spokes I pick. I just need to come up between 2 of them. I'm then going to go back 2 spokes and I'm going to come forward 3. And that's how I begin. So there it is in the Dala, kind of creates like a little dome. I'm going to do my whip woven variation on this 1-inch circle here. I'm using my chalk pencil and I'm going to mark my 10 spokes. I'm using Sue Spargo Spoke Easy, which I find incredibly useful for exactly this sort of thing. But any kind of circle, it's very helpful to have. And I'm going to mark center. I'm using Oriental Linen. I've demonstrated the variation using silk and pearls. I wanted to use something really different. So I'm going to do, this is Salt Marsh. Isn't that cool looking? I love that. And starting from the outside, so I don't have a knot in the center. I try to avoid that if possible. I'm going to go into my center as close as I can to center in between two spokes. Doesn't matter which spokes. All right. So there I am. For my first one, I'm going to go back 2, and then I'm going to go forward 3. I'm going to go back 2, forward 3. 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 Here's the thing about this. 10 spokes I think is probably the minimum. I've done it on less, but I think in order to get the kind of trellis, almost trellis stitch looking effect, you need more. I've done 16 and that looks really cool. Now when it starts to distort, I just kind of tweak it. I don't want my legs to start moving in different directions. If you want that look, then pull it tighter. If you like the spokes to start sort of turning, and you know that's a whole different look, then pull your stitches a bit tighter. I'm trying to maintain the shape of the straightness. I don't want them to twist at all. As I get close to the edge here, I just am trying to be careful not to pull too tightly with my thread so that it just kind of rests. And when it gets too difficult for me to get my needle under, that's when I'm going to stop, which is getting pretty close. So I think this is going to be my last 2. Which is good because I'm running out of thread. And there is my variation on the whipped woven. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting and maybe made you think about how you could apply a variation on the whipped woven to your project. Or don't forget to hit the like button, click on that subscribe button and the little bell that comes up for email notifications. I love hearing from you. Leave me comments in the comments section. Tell me what you think of the variation on the whipped woven and what thread might you use it with. Don't forget to check out the description section where I'll leave the links to all the threads that I use in this video. And until next time, here's to stitching and exploring our stitches together.